Well, that brutal cold is here. People across Colorado are waking up to freezing temperatures and fresh layers of snow this morning. These are live looks right now from Denver, Greeley, Fort Collins, and Loveland ski area. A lot of white out there. This morning is not the time to be out on the roads if you don't have to. That fresh snowfall means it is very slick, and we saw that this morning. We've already seen it. Several counties and cities all across the Front Range are on accident alert right now. That means if you get into an accident and no one was hurt, neither driver is under the influence, and you aren't blocking the road, police just want you to exchange information and then report the crash online. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Hopefully from the comfort of your couch with hot coffee and lots of blankets, I'm Lauren Scafidi. Let's send things right on over to Weather Impact Team meteorologist Carly Cassidy. And Carly, we won't see temperatures above freezing for several more days. That's painful to say.
Right, and to track. We're talking Tuesday. That's mainly when we're going to see just get right back above freezing. And the cold air, it's already here, but we have more headed this way. 2 more surges of the Arctic air, so this is really just the beginning. That moved in yesterday, quite a difference. That Arctic cold front, we will continue all the way through Tuesday morning. The bulk of the snow has also moved in. Yes, we still have snow out there. May see some more cloud cover compared to others at time. The snow will taper off, not be as heavy, and then we have another round tomorrow night through your Monday morning. Coming with that and coming tonight, that next surge of the Arctic air. So flash freeze on the roads, the wind chill, that is the concern going forward. Dangerously cold temperatures all the way through Tuesday morning. Definitely have to bundle up. No skin exposed. Bring in the pets because this is the big concern. The snow here, the bulk of it down to the south. There you can see back behind, we will continue with those light snow showers on and off throughout today, then tapering off and drying things out as we go into tonight. So not going to pick up a whole lot more until that next round tomorrow night into your Monday morning, and even then about another 1 to possibly 3 inches. But why we have a winter weather advisory in place? Because of the snow, the wind, 20 to 40 miles per hour, and of course those cold conditions. So also underneath all of that, have a cold weather advisory in place. You can see and feel why if you step outside. We got teens, single digits, and then how it's feeling with that wind chill even below. And with that next surge headed this way, you will be feeling quite a bit colder. So we'll talk more about those weather impact days and those cold temperatures coming up in a few minutes.
And Carly, all of that is why doctors at UC Health say that they're expecting to see more patients with cold-related injuries this weekend. A recent study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association showed cold-related deaths have gone up in recent years. Researchers looked at data from the CDC. Between 1999 and 2022, they found the number of deaths related to cold weather more than doubled. The study also found cold-related death rates were highest among minority populations and people 75 and older. Researchers at UC Health believe these types of deaths have grown because people aren't used to extreme winter weather, which impacts the body's response.
Especially living in Colorado, we're so accustomed to these amazing, temperatures and being outside in the sun that normally we can tolerate being out in the cold when the sun's out. But with these temperatures, it won't really happen. So a lot of people are unprepared for what they're exposed to.
Researchers say they hope this new data leads to more warming centers and indoor heating options for some of the most vulnerable. The city of Denver's cold weather shelters will stay open through this Arctic blast. City leaders are asking people to stop at a so-called front door shelter first, either at Urban Peak, Samaritan House, or the Denver Rescue Mission. There is extra space at the Stone Creek shelter. That's the former Best Western off Quebec, north of I-70. Shelter will also be provided at city facilities on West 7th and South Zunai. RTD says riders need to be prepared for possible delays and slower travel times while this brutal weather sticks around, especially if all the snow turns into ice, which we've already seen. If you're taking a ride, RTD wants you to have plenty of layers on while you wait for that bus or light rail. It's also a good idea to sign up for those service alerts to get up-to-date information on any delays. RTD will have staff ready to go if any problems come up. Crews will work to make sure things are as smooth as possible, including keeping overhead wires, track switches, and train doors from icing up. If you don't have anywhere to be this weekend, do not test yourself out on the road. The combination of snow and frigid temperatures means your drive could go sideways pretty quickly. Right now, we want to check back in with Trooper Sherry Mendez with Colorado State Patrol. Trooper Mendez, thank you so much for joining us yet again this morning. We've been keeping you close.
Yes, thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. Have there been any major crashes or closures since we last spoke?
I'm not seeing any major real crashes right now. a lot of property damage crash. Well, not a lot, but I see some property damage crashes, but no injury. So that's good news as always. But as always, we never know what's going to happen throughout the day.
Exactly. And throughout the next couple of days, because we know that this is going to linger, this is going to last. And during the next couple of days, we will get a break from the snow, sure, but that doesn't mean that the roads will be safe. So what is your message to anyone who has to go out today or at all this weekend?
Just to make sure that your vehicle is equipped and ready to go. Make sure the CMVs have their chains on because of chain law. If you see a motorist on the shoulder of the roadway, move over or slow down. If you see a first responder on the shoulder of the road, maybe assisting with their crash, slow down and move over because those roads can be slick. And as you know, accidents can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And it sounds silly. We always say this, right, Trooper Mendez? It's like, be careful, go slow, all of the things. But it really is important, especially right now, because things can turn in just a second, right? Just a moment's notice.
Yes, exactly. And the roadways are going to be icy. And with these frigid temperatures, it makes the roadways freeze back up and not get a chance to, what we're used to is the sun melting them and the roads becoming better.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be a big difference this time around. Are there any common themes that you see with people who head out on the road and they do get into an accident? Is there something that pops up over and over?
Yes, they're going too fast for conditions. And also, we tell people to put the distractions down, as you know, so that could also be a possible factor in, taking this weather and thinking that they can drive through it because obviously the weather is going to win 100%.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to keep in mind. The weather will win. Trooper Mendez, thank you so much for joining us, not just this time, but before as well. You've been great this morning, live throughout the morning here on 9 News. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys be safe out there.
Yes, be safe, stay warm. We will have team coverage throughout the weekend of this Arctic cold. You can follow along streaming on 9 News Plus. It is free to download on your TV. The suspect in the 16th Street Mall stabbing says he heard voices while in state prison in 2023 and 2024. Elijah Caudill was formally charged yesterday with stabbing 2 people to death on the 16th Street Mall. Before that, he'd been arrested at least 10 times and spent much of the past 2 years in jail and prison. According to records obtained by 9 News Investigates, he said in both 2023 and 2024 that he heard voices. He also said at one point he was not taking his medication and that he did not want to get out of jail, according to those records. 9 News legal analyst Scott Robinson said the criminal justice system doesn't do a good job of dealing with defendants who have mental health issues.
There are multiple red flags all along the course of this young man's entry into adulthood. Unfortunately, the system may not be able to deal with those until something like this happens.
There's now a memorial set up on the 16th Street Mall honoring one of the stabbing victims. You see photos, candles, flowers, so sad. Nicholas Burkett's family put it together yesterday.
He meant a lot to us. He was important. He wasn't just a throwaway person.
He was loved by a lot of people.
And I guarantee you every single person out here on these streets has somebody that loves and cares about them and wishes that they could take the right steps.
Investigators still have not offered any motive as to why Caudill went on that stabbing spree. With strong winds out of the picture for now, crews finally have 40,000 acres of wildfires burning in Southern California under control. Crews say they have slowed, if not stopped, the progress of the Palisades and Eaton fires. Both are 39% and 65% contained, respectively, this morning. That's according to CAL FIRE. People living in the Palisades and Altadena have been allowed back into certain neighborhoods, but many are returning to nothing. For others, it could be months before they can get back to their home or what's left of it. Crews hope to keep making progress this weekend before another round of high winds comes back next week. Crews from several fire departments across the Front Range are helping out in Southern California right now, including Aurora's. This past week, Aurora Fire Rescue provided an extra set of eyes at the top of Topanga State Park. When they aren't on the job, the crew is taking time to connect with other departments across Colorado, working together as a strike team.
it's one of those great experiences we take away and bring back to Colorado and into our city. It is challenging at first. You got to kind of get past the dance, get to know everybody because you're a team right away.
Yeah, no time to waste at all. This is typically a 2-week assignment. No word yet on when they might head back home.